Okay, so the movie opens and Bobby is basically like on this stretcher and Whitney's like on the side of it and she's freaking out. It looks as if Bobby's being rushed to the hospital, possibly for some type of drug overdose or something of that nature, but it pretty much just opens with the chaos of that and he says that he's happy it's just him this time. Then we go ahead and jump over to where he's just coming from his grandmother's funeral. He's still in his little funeral suit and he's moping and his friend Jimmy is trying to, pick him up and let him know it's gonna be okay and I'm sorry about your grandma. Let's go have a little fun. So they going down to the park and they minding their business playing a little b-ball or whatever. And some douche lord white kid decides that he wants to try to take Bobby's bike. So Bobby see him trying to take his bike, but Bobby like, I ain't even in the mood. I ain't even finna get into this. But Jimmy like, hell no, you ain't nobody's bitch. So they go over there and they get to get to fighting. Jimmy's getting the best of the boy, whatever. So some little weak ass girl, she decides she want to throw a goddamn knife on the fucking floor, and so he snatches the knife up. But what I saw was their friend that was playing b-ball with them had to snuck round the back because Bobby had already beat up the other boyfriend. He came, helped, bam, knocked him out. The other boy that was actually playing with Bobby and them, he come round the back, and I guess they was finna try to like jump the white boy, so he kicked the white boy in the back, and the white boy had the knife and just went into Jimmy. So Jimmy's badly done. He's just begging for his mama. His mama is Tatiana Ali, and she come down there screeching and hollering and crying and going on. And as Jimmy's dying, his eyes happen to look straight up at Bobby. So, you could tell that's something that kind of hurt Bobby and, messed with his feelings because he kind of blamed himself. Like, if I wouldn't have took him down there, if it wasn't trying to take my bite, him trying to defend me while I'm being, a punk, not defending myself. So I think that's what that had to do with. And then we jump on over to after he's been kicked out of New Edition. So he returns home and his family, his mama, it's the same mama from the New Edition movie. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited because his mama was a fucking mess in that movie. But anyway, she reprised her role as the mother or whatever, and she is pissed. She's like, we're going to have a family meeting. Let me tell you something. We are going to sue New Edition. We're going to sue MCA. We're going to sue Universal. We're suing every goddamn body. They got the wrong one. Like, mama is pissed off. And we actually get to see his father, which I thought was good because I do have the book, so I'll be able to fill in some of this stuff that I feel like they left out. But we did get to see his father. His father's very involved. It seems to be a very calm and, laid back man. The mom seems to be more of the dominant figure, but he's basically just trying to tell his son, look, you need to get you a job, going back to school so you can get you a career, whatever. And Bobby's like, I'm not done, I'm gonna do my own little thing. So Bobby goes on and he's going to this little dance or whatever. So while he at this dance, how it be when you you go back home and somebody don't really respect you as they possibly should or whatever, they throw a little shade. So the boy walk up to Bobby and his girl, he's like, oh, it's all Bobby Brown. Oh, you talking to him with the big old forehead and this black ass nigga with a gap tooth? And I'm just like, then the boy proceeded to say, you could have picked Ralph or Ronnie or some damn body. You picked this one. I was just like, you know what? Stop the music. I don't like that because people do that shit, and I know they did that shit back in the days, and I think that is so fucking trash, and I don't like it, and I feel like that could be a reason why Bobby was such a womanizer, you know what I'm saying, to me, because you got somebody, you successful, but you got somebody sitting here steady trying to tell you don't look good. So he may have got it in his head that he's not the cutest one in the group, and so every chance he got, he was gonna bang every broad he fucking came in contact with. But anyway, Bobby didn't back down and start, giving the boy a little heat back, tell him how broke he is, etc. Nigga decided he want to pull a gun and start shooting, so everybody haul ass. So hot ass mess. But let's just keep going. Okay, so after the whole little fight situation, Bobby goes back home and he's sneaking his mother's pistol out of her closet. And of course she catches his ass and she's like, if you take that, it's a strong possibility you're gonna have to use it. And are you slinging dope now? And he like, listen, I'm doing what I gotta do. So she goes into her whole little holy spiel of, me and your father are doing what we have to do. We work hard every single day to make sure your little narrow ass got what you need, etc., etc. And he like, excuse me, man, but don't be sitting up here trying to be the pot calling the kettle black because your ass ain't innocent yourself. You be selling drugs too, mama, because you got shit in the bathroom and where you used to hide your coke in the flour. And I read the book, so in the book he describes this one time where he discovered when his mother actually sold drugs because he didn't know that she was putting it in the flour. So he decided that day he wanted to make himself some chicken. So he went in there and seasoned the chicken real good and took that flour and coated it all right and fried that chicken up. He said that was the best chicken he ever ate in his whole damn life. And his mama came home like, what in the entire hell did you do? Bobby had made a whole batch of Coke chicken, okay? He said that was the best chicken he ever had. So, you know, the mother is not completely innocent, but I understand where she's coming from, because no matter what a parent may or may not do, we don't want our kids to have to do that bullshit. So I totally understand where she's coming from, especially when, you know, it's like somebody like Bobby who definitely has potential to be better than that. But anywho, he goes on now, you know, to do his own thing, and she is like, we're not having this shit. Let me call Mr. Busby and get a little help on this end. So Gerald Busby bring his behind down, and again, it's Tank, so he redid his role from the New Edition movie anyway. But Tank comes down there and let him know, listen, you throwing your life away, etc. Ain't nobody got time for this. And if you think that I'm finna come back down here in my brand new fucking suit in this damn nasty ass ghetto, you out your goddamn mind. So figure out if you gonna come your ass on to LA or you gonna stay your ass here in the projects of Boston. And so Bobby does decide, you know, that's the best thing for me to do. He decides to have his brother Tommy become his manager, because he feels like, you know, Tommy can help him out. And Tommy is like, okay, but you know, he already knows Bobby's one of those kids that don't like to listen to nobody. So he's like, are you gonna listen to me? And Bobby like, sure. So the next time we see him is he goes to do the I Need a Girlfriend song or whatever, and you see Lowell. He comes to, which is Gerald Busby's little assistant. They got Laz Alonso, so it's not the same guy. The other guy, Dwayne Martin, did reprise his role. But anyway, he goes to do the I Need a Girlfriend song, and basically he's about to move his family on out and do what he needs to do so that, you know, he can recover from being kicked out. Alright, so it's time for Bobby to get back to work, okay? So Lowell decides, you know what, I got the perfect thing for him. We're gonna hook him up with L.A. Reid and Babyface, two of the greatest producers of all time. And so Bobby goes to the studio and he's like, no, because he's dissing them from head to toe. He's like, wait a minute, I'm in here in my whole Run DMC schmeal, and this guy's in here with Jerry curls, shiny shoes, looking like little pretty church boys. I'm not gonna be looking like that. And he's like, listen, fool, you ain't gotta look like that, but you do need to work with them because they hot right now. You need to do what you need to do. And Bobby's like, well, I want to work with Teddy Riley. And he was like, okay, but you still should think about it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna work with both of them. So I'm like, okay, that might work. So they go ahead, Babyface and L.A. Reid, they go ahead and do Rock With You. Everybody know Rock With You. I wanna rock with you, baby, all night long. That's that jam, okay? So they do that, and then he goes and hooks up with Teddy Riley, and he gives him the My Prerogative beat, and Bobby's like, yes, because, you know, Bobby want to dance and shake it all around, and, you know, Bobby want to say all the stuff he want to say, so that was right up his alley. So they pretty much go straight from the studio and straight to the performance, and basically it's just a rendition of the My Prerogative video where you got the girls and the little guitars and whatnot, and they dancing all over the place. That's pretty much it, but it's pretty good thus far. I'm liking it, and you know, I'm loving it because I love all the music and shit, so I'm having me a good old time. I love a good musical. Alright, so let's just keep going, guys. Alright, so Bobby is on the Heartbreak Tour with New Edition, and they get to Georgia, and the cops come backstage to let him know, listen, sir, this is the good old state of Georgia, and we don't want you up there doing nothing that is sexually inappropriate or sexually motivated, any of that stuff, that no humping, grinding, and picking up people and doing all this extra stuff that we know that you like to do when you're on stage. So he plays it all off. Oh no, I understand. You know, the rules are the rules. Thank you. This is my girl Kim. She's having my baby. This is going to be a family-friendly show. Only to get his behind up there on stage and show his natural ass. I guess he did his whole little show and didn't, you know, mess up or do anything like that. But honey, when he got to Roni, y'all know Roni, come on, let's do it. Truth about Roni, she's a sweet old girl, about the sweetest little girl in the whole wide world. She make the toughest homeboy fall deep in love. Okay, anyway, he's doing Roni, which is one of my favorite songs, by the way. He's doing Roni, and he picks this girl up. He has her come on stage. He put his head between her legs. He picks her up, and they just gyrating. And honey, he is promptly escorted clean the fuck off that stage, because them popos was not playing. They was standing their ass right there watching like, nigga, we waiting. And they took his ass clean off. He didn't care, because apparently he did the shit on purpose in an effort to get his parents down to Georgia, because, you know, they still lived in Boston at that time, and I guess he felt like if I tell them to just come down here, they're going to be expecting something or whatever. So the only way to get them down here and not tell them what I've done at this particular point is to get arrested, so they would have to come down here and bail my silly ass out. So he shows them this beautiful home in Georgia. It is big, it is very beautiful, and Bobby has handpicked all of, stop fucking, I'm sorry. Bobby has handpicked all of the different things. So all of the rugs and all this stuff got these big ass bees. He got 3 bees in a row with a king hat on the middle of them. So all the carpets in the house got this King Bobby shit all over the carpet and stuff. His mama is not feeling it, but she happy because her ass got her a brand new home. And you know, she's questioning the new manager. They bring in a new manager, and he's gonna be assisting Tommy. And she like, did he pay his taxes? Because you know that's how they get you with them taxes, which is true. They get them celebrities each and every time with them taxes, which I think sucks, because I feel like if I go out here and make all my money, I don't feel like I should have to give you any of it, because I feel like you can just print some in Washington D.C. But anyway, so he gifts his mother and them this very beautiful home, and then he lets them know he's going to be in Ghostbusters. And the very next scene, is one of many sex scenes throughout this thing. I honestly got annoyed. I got so annoyed last night that I ended up start to mute the TV because I was getting so annoyed, because it's like every time I turn around, they was hunching. It's like, oh my gosh, can y'all stop having sex? It's like, is that all he did with his life, just sitting here hunching girls on tour and stuff? Honey, he had a white girl in the front on top of him, and then he had a black girl. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to make this phone stop going on. I apologize. He had a white girl in the front of him. He getting with her. He got a black girl behind him. Then when he done with the white girl, he moved her and spin the black girl around and bent her over, all while he trying to get his lyrics right. And they in the tour bus while he's just out in the open, humping and dumping. I'm like, this is nasty. It's nasty and it's annoying. And at one point, I almost felt like this should have just been a softcore porn flick, because it seemed like every time we turned around, Bobby was hunching somebody. But nonetheless, he got on Ghostbusters. He did his little music thing. I'm guessing everything turned out right. But all this hunching they did, I was like, did y'all fuck around and just bring BET Uncut back and ain't tell nobody? Because if y'all did, I ain't got no problem, but at least let a nigga know that you finna do BET Uncut so I can prepare myself for this. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I kind of had let Zoe stay up a little bit, because we both big New Edition fans, so we both wanted to see it. So I was like, you can stay up for a little bit, you watch it. And I had to keep telling my baby, turn your head, turn your head. I had to keep telling him, turn your head. He was like, oh, I'm surprised he doesn't have AIDS. I was like, Zori. Sorry, that's not funny. He's like, I'm just saying. It's like, he doesn't even care. He's just doing it and doing it and doing it. He's not even caring about himself. And he's having babies. I'm surprised he didn't have AIDS. I'm like, Lord have mercy. My 10-year-old know that all this crap is wrong. I hope you keep that same idea, son, when you're about his age. I'm gonna remind you, don't be out there humping and dumping because you don't want to get AIDS. Alright, so while Bobby is still in the giving mood, he pops up over at Janet Jackson's house. Yes, the Janet Jackson. He pops up over there at Janet Jackson's house with a beautiful car wrapped in a nice red bow for her birthday. And homegirl come out and gives him, what the fuck are you doing here? You ain't supposed to be here. We supposed to be keeping this discreet. What the entire fuck? And he's like, it's your birthday. I didn't want to miss your birthday. Homegirl tripping because she got James DeBarge up the stairs. And if you don't know who James DeBarge is, he is one of the brothers from the DeBarge family, the singing group, the DeBarge, the one that can't sing. Okay, Kristen Neal's father, but the one that can't not sing, but the one that can't dance. I think he probably can sing, but homeboy can't dance because that Motown 25 was a hot mess and he was moving like a loose noodle. Hilarious. You gotta go watch it. But anyway, she with him and they up the stairs or whatever. So Bobby like, okay, whatever. He knows the dude is here because he pretty much is aware of what the fuck is going on. But obviously Mr. DeBarge wasn't, so that's why she runs out trying to quietly get him to leave. So she promises that she will make it up to him, okay? And he says, how? Next thing you know, we got another freaking sex scene, and honey, they was doing the most. I'm like, hold up, baby. Janet's on the wall, Janet's on the bed, then she back on the wall again, then she's on top of him. I'm like, oh my god, okay, Janet, Auntie Janet nasty. Okay, so after they're done, and why they, matter of fact, let me just talk about that real quick. Why they having sex? Okay, why they having sex? He asked her, you love me? You love me? You love me? Is it mine? Is it mine? And Janet ain't answering none of that shit. She like, Like, she ain't answering shit. I said, ooh, she give him the fucked up treatment. Don't do Bobby like that. But afterwards, Bobby feeling some kind of way. Like, bitch, what is we doing here? Like, are we together? Are we not? Like, what's the problem? And she's like, you already know what's going on. It's not up to me. It's not under my control or whatever. And he's like, well, is it because I'm black? And I do want to touch on that real quick, but I do feel like the father, Joe Jackson, bless his soul, I do feel like he had a lot to do with his children and who they were trying to marry. And I feel like if you look at a lot of the grandchildren Jacksons and the great-grand Jacksons, they don't look nothing like the original Jacksons. You will walk down the street and see these kids and never once say, hey, that might be a Jackson, because they don't look shit like them, because they were all mating and having babies and getting married to people that were not black or racially ambiguous. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you can do what you want to do. I feel like the only reason Jermaine was allowed to marry Hazel Gordy is because she was Berry Gordy's daughter. So unless it was like another rich, clean cut, super famous black person, he didn't want his children with them. And I feel like that showed up in the way that they were choosing their partners. But anyway, they continue to go on, and Bobby's like in his feelings, because it's like, we just got done doing this and I'm tired of feeling like I'm your little side piece. Like, I'm Bobby Brown, I got $20 million, I'm worth $20 million, and you want to sit here and do all this for a backup dancer, but you can't be with me. So she's like, I don't gotta deal with this. So he was like, oh, okay. Scene cuts. Let me tell y'all what really happened, okay? She said, I don't gotta deal with this, I don't gotta do. He's like, yeah, okay, you don't. Get your ass out of my room. And she's like, what? He said, get your ass out of my room. I don't have any clothes. I don't give a fuck. Get out of my fucking room. He kicks Janet Jackson out of the hotel room, ass naked, into the hallway. No clothes, no nothing. And she got to haul ass and get some help. And so, but BET didn't show y'all that. I'm only telling y'all that because I have the book. BET didn't show that because I guess BET say, look, we already got Miss Janet, if you nasty, humping on walls and shit, and she ain't never been like that publicly. So we ain't gonna be showing her getting kicked out ass naked to the hallway, but we know. And Bobby, you didn't have to hit the lady out butt naked. You could have gave my auntie Janet some clothes, Bobby. You didn't have to do all that. But anyway, they go on over to the Soul Train Awards, the 1989 Soul Train Awards, and that is where he meets the beautiful Whitney Houston. And of course, we already know she kept bumping his head, trying to get his attention, real Leo style, because we'll do stuff like that. We'll do little slight something so you can turn around and talk to us, and we could just get you. But anyway, Whitney is nominated for an award, and when they call her name, they are booing her. Like, you just hear boo, 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 boo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Whitney Houston being booed? And so she was kind of sad that hurt her. And of course, I know it hurt her because I can understand her in a way that, some people just can't. I know that hurt her and that got to her because people don't like to feel rejected, but they were doing that because at that time the black community felt like Whitney was too pop, she was too white, she was singing all these songs that was popish and no R&B. But to be honest, it really wasn't Whitney's fault because she had no control over the songs she was singing, and she was not writing those songs. She was only singing those songs that she was being told to, so it really wasn't her fault, and it wasn't fair that they booed her. But moving on, they booed her, and Bobby turned around and gave her support, let her know, keep doing you, you're awesome, you're amazing, fuck what a bitch think. And I really appreciate that about him. And then they went out and had dinner where they see that they have a lot more in common. They like smoking the same kind of cigarettes, and I think that just leads them on down. It's like they were two people just trying to be themselves, and unfortunately some of the worst parts of themselves they matched together with, and they kind of honed in on that. But let's just keep going because we're getting through this. Bobby performs Every Little Step, okay? And let me just say this, Woody McClain, you did an amazing job. You did a phenomenal job on these dance moves and things of that nature. You killed that Every Little Step performance. I simply adored it. So when he done, he going backstage. He don't want nobody coming back there. Listen, don't let nobody in my room. I'm finna go back here and chill with Whitney, and she's back there waiting on him, chilling. But who should show up? Kim. And Kim got the children, and she throwing all kinds of shade. But honey, Whitney, being the true Leo queen that she was, honey, she was catching it and tossing it right back like a boomerang and was unfazed by any of it. But somehow, some way, Bobby ended up at Kim's house, sleeping with Kim, okay? And going on and waking up that he had to messed up. Then he flies his ass back out there to Whitney and, introduces her to his family. His family is like, listen, we need you to go ahead and marry her because she's the top dog right now, and she need to be up in this family, so I'm going to need you to go ahead and make that official. So he's feeling just a little bit of pressure, but I feel like he already really wanted her anyway because I think she just got him at that time, you know what I'm saying? And so then they go over to this little scene that I just actually caught today. I don't know how I missed it last night, but they were at the studio, and they were Teddy Riley, and I noticed Alicia was there. Alicia Etheridge being his current wife right now. And she was apparently Teddy Riley's girlfriend. So I'm like, wait a minute. She was Teddy Riley's girlfriend. Teddy Riley's your producer, kind of like your friend. And today you're married to her? So I'm like, okay, let's just stay on track here. But okay, I guess. So I don't trust nobody, but I guess. And then Whitney comes into the studio, of course, and she lets him know that she is pregnant. So that is the first pregnancy I'm believing that she had between the two of them. Against the better judgment and advice of his managers, Bobby decides he wants to put all his money in Whitney's account and her name and all his stuff. He want to go ahead and put all his money over there with her, which I think was kind of stupid too, because I feel like at that time Whitney probably had more money than him. But even if she didn't, she had enough money of her own. You didn't need to put your stuff with hers. But nonetheless, he decides he's Bobby. He gonna do what he want to do, and he goes ahead and do that. Then he finds out that Kim is pregnant. So now he has Kim and Whitney pregnant at the same exact time, and he must tell Whitney because it's gonna come out anyway. And honey, when he went to tell Whitney, she performed just as I would and went clean upside his head. And I was like, yes, sis, get his ass. And Robin was in the background like, get his ass, sis, and if he buck, we finna jump. Whitney was not having it. She was pissed off, and all of that combined with her being a star and doing all this traveling stuff, it caused that lady to have a miscarriage. So she lost her first baby between them two, and it kind of sort of was his fault as well. So wedding day arrives. It's time to get married to the beautiful Whitney Houston, but Bobby is locked inside the bathroom because he don't want to come out and talk to anybody because he's having cold feet, he's worried about this, he's worried about that, and none of his groomsmen can get him out of the bathroom. Pause for just a second. Why the hell did they put all that damn casket looking makeup on Mekhi Phifer? Why? That makeup looked like he was supposed to be in a casket. It was like so thickly coated on him, it just didn't look right. I didn't like it. They should have put more of a lighter beat on him. It looked like somebody just like, listen, we gotta hurry up, so just put on all this. It was a mess. I didn't like it. But anyway, none of the groomsmen can get Bobby out. He's locked in the bathroom. So here comes our good friend Alicia Teddy Riley's girlfriend. I don't know if they're still together at this time, but they're friends. So she comes and she happens to persuade Bobby to open the door, and they go into the bathroom, and she, gives him like a little pep talk to get him right so that he can go on and marry the beautiful Whitney Houston. But I just want to say something like this. This is just why I don't play all that. That's my bro. That's my sis. That's my homie. Like, excuse me, that's my homie. It ain't nothing. No. Because you are at this woman's wedding, okay? So that means you're his friend's girlfriend. Now you at their wedding, and now you married to him. That's why I don't be trusting people. I don't be like none of that. Sis, you can say hey to her or whatever, but she gotta stay, because if she ain't come out your mama vagina or your daddy ball sack, she is not your sister, and I'm not trying to hear none of it. Save that shit for somebody who cares. But anyway, Bobby goes to see Whitney, and he catches her snorting coke, and he says this is the first time he's ever caught her. Robin's in the room with her too, trying to get her right, but Whitney's snorting her coke. But Bobby still loves her. He still wants to marry her, and they go right ahead and get married. Whitney gets pregnant again, and Bobby Christina, rest her little soul, she arrives right on schedule, and Whitney now has the baby that she has always wanted, and she's so happy. But the party never stops, so they go to Grammy weekend, and I guess Bobby was supposed to go out and get some coke or something, but he ain't come back with it. So Whitney and Robin are locked up in the hotel room, having themselves a good old time, music blasting and just doing their own thing. He come back banging on the door with residue all up his nose, and she like, did you go get us some? Oh, you ain't get us none, but we see the residue all on your nose. Okay, well, you ain't coming in. Close the door and leave Bobby right outside in the hallway like he left Janet. But anyway, as I said, the party just never stops, and it gets to a point where it's just so consistent, and Bobby's just doing, these drugs and things of that nature, that his parents start getting notices of foreclosure and notices of, basically about to be evicted out of his Georgia home, because that's where his parents are staying. And the parents are pretty much just blaming his brother Tommy for everything, mainly so the mother. She's pissed off, she's dramatic, so she's pissed off, she's going off. You supposed to be keeping him alive. He hired you for a reason. It's your job to make sure you looked out for him. But at this time, Bobby is a grown-ass man. He's not that little boy that needed help anymore. He's a grown-ass man doing whatever he wants to do. And that's when Tommy has to come clean. He's like, listen, Bobby and Whitney be getting high all day long. They be standing up in that house, and they don't come out for days and days on end, and I can't do nothing about it. He's a grown-ass man, and she is too. So she's like, well, where's Bobby Chris? She there too, but the nannies take care of her, so they pretty much just do as they want to do. There's nothing I can do about it. And the mama's just like, I ain't trying to hit none of that shit, because bitch, I'm not gonna get kicked out of this house. You better get your ass over there and figure out what's going on with your brother and get his shit together so that he can pay this bill, so that I don't have to leave my brand new house. Okay? After all that yelling and stuff his mama did to him, Tommy makes his way on over there to Bobby's house, because they need to talk. But before he arrives, we see Robin, Bobby, and Whitney in the house. And basically, Robin and Whitney, they in the room. They chilling. They look like they're high, but they chilling. They having themselves a good little time. In comes Bobby with 2 plates, okay? And so initially, I thought maybe he was bringing the plates for the 2 of them, but come to find out, he brought one for himself and one for Whitney. And when Robin started eating off the one that he had for himself, he got upset. And I feel like, first of all, sir, that was your fault, because if you see 2 people in here and it's yourself, you should have brought 3 plates, because that's disrespectful. If somebody at your house, be polite and treat somebody like a guest, because when they argue, he told her she ain't shit with a guest. Well, if I'm a guest, you should have been treating her like a guest, but that's neither here nor there. They get into a little, spat about that, because he's going all off about the plate or whatever. And basically, Bobby makes her choose right then and there. And of course, she chooses Bobby, but it hurt her. And I know it hurt her, because right after she chose him, she started going off on him and whooping his ass. Like, they started getting into it. And that's when Tommy knocks on the door, and he's like, listen, bro, we got to talk. It's some things that need to be handled with the house and all this. Bobby like, listen, I'm finna do what I got to do. He starts, doing lines right there in front of his brother. I'll take care of it tomorrow. He's like, no, you need to get your shit together, because you ain't hungry no more. You ain't working like you used to be. Your album, the last one, sucked because it wasn't like the other, because you didn't put as much energy, work, and effort into it. So you need to get your shit together. Bobby's like, oh, okay, so that's how you feel? Bitch, you fired. Get out of my face. You fired. That's done. So he fires his brother Tommy, which I think was a bad move. But Bobby's a grown man, so there's not much you can do. And I hate when families try to put it all on one person, but it's like, listen, this person is a grown-up. There's not much I could do. I can say what I want to say, but just like we saw, he fired him because he wasn't saying what the fuck he wanted to hear. So Bobby goes out to the club with his sister's boyfriend or husband or whatever the case, and as they leaving the club, somebody comes and pull a drive-by, and the guy gets killed. Bobby, of course, feels like it's his fault. They kind of blaming him, and again we see somebody else losing their life around him, and he's internalizing it as it's something that he did, or he did something wrong. And I think a lot of that stuff emotionally just took a toll on Bobby, which is why he started spiraling. But as of now, that's the ending of part 1. part 2 will come on again tonight at 9 o'clock, from a 9 o'clock to 11:30 again, and I'm excited to see what it brings. It wasn't exactly the New Edition story. The New Edition story was kind of hitting all through, but it did have some good parts, and you know, it's good enough for me because I really didn't want to see a bunch of rehash stuff. And on top of that, I read the book as well, so that's how I was able to put some of the stuff together. But all in all, I would say it's about a 4.5. It did all right. It did pretty good. The actresses did the best job they could with what they had, so I have no complaints about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know, did you guys watch it? Did you like it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Do you feel like he was lying about the whole Janet thing? Because I see, excuse me, a lot of people are debating about that, but I believe him. I believe Bobby, because in that book he spilled a lot of people's tea, but he was spilling his own as well, so I believe him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.